Hello everyone, I'm Anthony, the Eclectic Chef. Well, today we'll be talking about toad in the hole. Probably one of the most quintessentially English dishes that I can think of. I haven't eaten it for probably 40 years. I believe my mum was the last person who cooked it for me. I did have some last week in my test kitchen version, where I ended up using way more batter than I needed. But we got it right this time. And we did it in the air fryer. Now, why use the air fryer? Well, you know, if you're cooking for one or two people, using a big oven to cook something like toad in the hole is a bit wasteful, frankly, unless you can bake something else at the same time and just hope the temperature suits what else you need to bake or cook. So there is that. Secondly, you know, I say this is an English dish. Electricity prices in England are just about at an all-time high. People really can't afford to use a lot of it. So using the air fryer is one way to save money. We got this to work and it's turned out very, very well. Now, going along with toad in the hole traditionally is an onion gravy. I show you how to make that, but it is at the end of the videos, so you won't see it interspersed with the making of the toad in the hole. In closing, by the way, this works out to be a very filling dish. So the version you see coming out of the air fryer, which has 4 sausages, could honestly probably feed a family of 4 if served with potatoes and vegetables. So if you're on a budget, you might want to think about that and give it a try too. And in closing, I just want to let you know that no toads were harmed in the making of our toad in the hole. I hope you enjoy the video. Hello everyone. I'm Anthony, the Eclectic Chef. Welcome back to my kitchen. Well, today we're going to try and make toad in the hole. Recipes for that all over YouTube. But this one is going to be slightly different, and I'm going to try and do it in the Ninja air fryer. Uses less energy, it's quicker, it's easier to clean up. Air fryers, in my opinion, are largely misunderstood. I think of them as a fan oven where the fan has been moved from the side to the top. That's really all they are. Fan's a little closer, the element's a little closer, you have to adjust your temperatures a little bit. But I'm going to see if this will work. And I actually think it will. So with that, let's get ourselves started. I could probably get away with taking the grid out and just cooking this in the pan. It's going to be more of a pain to clean up. So what you see is a ring form pan, metal ring form pan, that actually fits in the tray of my Gin Ninja. And we're going to warm this up with the sausages in it and then plop the batter in and give it a go. So let's take it from there. Hopefully this will make clean up a little easier. Today, folks, for this toad in the hole, we're using Jolly Posh Foods pork and herb bangers. 4 of them. Nicely fit in the ring mould. I ate 2 of these last night. They're seriously good sausages, if not inexpensive. I do need to tell you, this is not a sponsored video by Jolly Posh. They don't even know I'm doing it. So here are the sausages after 5 minutes at 375, just ever so slightly brown. They haven't given up any fat, so I've had to put a little bit of oil in here. Give it maybe another 30 seconds. Guess that's going to be 1 minute. To heat the oil up before we put the batter in. Now, the batter, I got the initial recipe from Tesco supermarket in England. It's 100 grams of flour, 2 eggs and 150 millilitres of milk. That works out to about 3 3/4 ounces of flour and 2/3 of a cup of milk. I followed their recipe. I thought the batter was a bit thick, So I put a little splash of milk in. Not much, just a bit, which we're going to pour over the sausages. And I also, the recipe called for sprinkling some onions in there. Well, as is my wont, I decided to use some thinly sliced shallot. I'll kick it up just a little bit. We'll have some freshly ground black pepper too. Now, let's talk about temperatures here. The original recipe calls for cooking this at 200°C, which is pretty much 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's with a fan oven. I think that's a bit on the hot side for 35 minutes. So I'm going to do these at 375 for 30. And I'm going to take a look at 25 minutes and see how it looks. So with that, let's keep our fingers crossed. I'm pretty sure this is going to work. We just work with it a little bit. So with that, let's add our batter and shallot and pepper. Here are our sausages in the batter mix, which we just poured in. These had been preheated for 5 minutes at 375. We're going to put these on at 365 for half an hour. Have a good look after 20 minutes. We may need to pop a little foil cap over these to stop the batter overcooking. But let's see how we go. Well, here we go, folks. I killed the cooking after 26 minutes. Could probably have rotated the tin a little more. One side risen more than the other. Sausages perfectly nestled. The batter, the batter broke a little bit with me getting it out of the ring mold. But I have to say, sausages are a perfect golden brown. Look, it's my camera. Looks a little darker in this picture shot. But I'm going to serve this up, half of this for my dinner tonight, with mash and peas and onion gravy, and we'll see what you all think. But I am very happy with this. And in an air fryer to boot. As part of our onion gravy for the toad in the hole, we're going to need some very thinly sliced onion, for which I am going to use this tool, which is properly called a mandolin. Let me tell you, I have another name for them. They're fingertip eaters. So we are going to wear one of these, a cut-proof glove. And most mandolins come with one. You know, maybe God's trying to tell you something. There is a food holder with mandolins, but they're not that easy to use, honestly. And I know a lot of people put them to the side and then end up slicing their fingertips off. So if you're going to use one of these, be careful. But they do work well. Just to prove the point, this is about 10 to 15 seconds of slicing onions. We have perfectly consistent onion rings, which we are going to cook very, very slowly. To caramelize, I don't want them browned. I just want to extract all the sugar and the flavour for our onion gravy. I'll show you that later. Okay, so here are our onions getting set to caramelize. We got them on a low heat. Don't need to rush this. It'll take a while, probably about half an hour minimum. It's in my heavy Cuisinart enamelled Dutch oven. We've got all the onions. We broke the rings up, added some freshly ground black pepper generously, a little bit of salt to help draw the juices out, and I'm actually softening these in avocado oil, even though we're not going to be cooking it at heat. Shame to waste EVO on this, and avocado oil will do a great healthy job for us, if onion gravy can ever be called healthy, but there you go. We must try, mustn't we? Okay, so here's how our onions look after a decent period of time. I know somebody who probably used a little too much oil in hindsight, but that's fine. I'm going to drain these onions with a slotted spoon. Probably use a little over half for the gravy, maybe half for the gravy for the toad and the hole, and reserve the other half for a couple of sausage sandwiches. They'll taste great. And I'm going to reserve the oil too, because it's going to be so beautifully infused with this onion pepper flavour that it would be a shame to waste it and not use it on something else. Here we go, folks. Some of our onions and oil. We've added like a teaspoon measure of flour, which we're cooking the roux so it doesn't taste floury. We'll add just a little bit of stock, probably no salt added chicken stock, frankly, because I have it. I have a jar of chicken stock that we cooked off one of the sous chef's chicken carcasses, but I'd rather save that for something else, so let's give this a try. So we've added our stock, just stirring this up to make our gravy, and it looks to be at about perfect thickness. I may put a splash of port in this just to darken it up and give it a little extra flavour. Maybe Madeira would work. What I did was add a shot of brandy and a couple of shakes of Knorr or Maggi sauce. Didn't darken the gravy up that much, but how about that for top shelf onion gravy? Let's spoon it over our meal and show you how our finished meal is going to look. So here we go, folks. Finished, ready to serve. This will be my dinner tonight. Toad in the hole, air fryer. Onion gravy, top shelf. Brandy and Maggi sauce. Mash and English peas from Trader Joe's, even if they came from Guatemala. This is really going to be good. I'll come back afterwards and give you a taste report.